What's going on, everybody? I'm back. It is June 9th, Friday evening. It's the freaking weekend. Yes, I took a break last Friday. I had some personal issues I was dealing with last Friday that just kind of exhausted me out. By the time that it came down to me getting off of work, and I was just done. I didn't feel like doing anything. I sat on my sofa, watched TV for the whole night, and chilled. Until Saturday, I had some medical issues that came up that I really don't want to discuss right now because it's a long story. But I'm good. The last story I did 2 weeks ago was about me working as an extra for WWE, and it hit 2,600 views, which is phenomenal. Like most of my stories, you usually hit 200 to 300, and for it to hit 2,600, I don't know exactly what changed, what happened. I'm hoping I'm hitting that many people because, like I said, my whole thing behind doing these stories is to give wrestling fans a different side that they don't get to see with wrestlers, and it's a fun side. I've been having a ball with these videos, and I'm hoping everybody likes them. I haven't really had any negative comments, so I'm guessing. I mean, I had a couple of negative comments, but you know me, I either gonna put you in your place or I'm gonna kill you with kindness. So with that being said, every once in a while, I like to check on people who see my videos. Like I'll put on Facebook, hey, give me some ideas for a show, for a story. And I sifted through all the smart ass comments because I got a lot of smart ass friends. A couple of them caught my eye. Ben, this one's for you. You wanted to know some of my toughest opponents. You were. No, I'm just kidding. The person that I am, I'm a nervous person. So every single show that I've ever done, if you have ever been on a show with me, whether you noticed it or not, I was nervous wreck every show. You would see me pacing back and forth in the locker room, outside the locker room before the doors open, and I'll get in the ring, hit the ropes a couple times, take a bump, stretch out, get out the ring, walk back to the locker room, pace. I'm constantly pacing, I'm constantly moving, and that's what happens when I get nervous. I'm constantly moving as it is, but when I get nervous, I pace. So before shows, before doors open at shows, I'm pacing all over the place, thinking of things, thinking of who I have to wrestle that night, what I'm gonna do, what is he gonna do, how is it gonna end, how I'm gonna make the crowd go nuts. You know, just everything going through my head at one time, just trying to get into the zone. And that's what I do. I just nervous wreck before every show. So with that being said, my toughest opponents weren't the ones that you would think would be, like John Saxon, Benjamin Wood, Stan Sweetan, Steve Anthony. These are all guys that I know that I've been in a locker room with for years, and I know what kind of attitude they have. I know what to expect with them. I know what to expect once I get to the ring because I've watched them over the years. A lot of them I would know the move that they're gonna do before they do it. So if that makes any sense, being a professional wrestler, you're in there with another guy. You're in there to make that other guy look phenomenal. He's in there to make you look phenomenal and to tell a story to the fans and do it without killing each other. So you have to be able to read try to read people's minds, try to read people's body language, and try to read everything that's going on around you. So it's pretty nerve-wracking being out there. So my toughest opponents were the ones that I've never wrestled before. I would get more nervous wrestling guys, whether they were big, small, whatever. My toughest opponent was a guy that I didn't know. If a promoter would book a guy that I have never met, that I have never been in a locker room with, that I didn't know his name or anything, that's the ones that were my toughest opponents because I was hard on myself that I wanted to, impress this guy, being in a ring with him and having a great match with, I have no clue what his body language was. what his mindset is. So that was always my toughest opponents because I was always a nervous wreck. Another one of my toughest opponents would be anybody that was my size or bigger, because I hardly ever had a chance to wrestle guys my size. Kevin Northcutt, I got to work him, I got to wrestle him. Big Richard, Mountain Man, he was my size. That was pretty much when I came through my wrestling journey. Those two guys were the two guys that were bigger than me or my size. And I'm so used to doing certain things in a ring that if guys that, especially I didn't know that were bigger than me, and I get in a ring with, Old School booked a guy out of Texas one time, and he was my size and bigger, and man, I had a rough time with him because I had a rough time with him. We had a good match, but I just had a rough time because I would grab him for something and realize I can't do this right now. I can't do this to him because he's a lot bigger than everybody else, so it wouldn't look good. So yeah, that right there was my toughest opponent. My toughest opponent was me. so yeah, I mean, you people who know me know that. Another guy put the smallest and the biggest crowds. The smallest crowd I worked in front of was, I'll never forget, Andalusia, Alabama. I think they only had 3 paid people. And then my biggest crowd was, man, any one of Mustang Mike's shows that he threw in Morgan City. Man, it packed that place out. I did other shows for, and I think I went over these that was in Natchitoches and Lake Charles, where I met Mick Foley, Rodney Mack, Buff Bagwell, X-Pac, that we were all on a show together with. Those were some pretty big crowds. Wildcat, any show that they put on, they draw pretty well too. And it's better to wrestle in front of a crowd that's huge because it's just so easy. My best crowds that I ever worked in front of was military, believe it or not. Military bases was crowded and they were hyped. I mean, that was my favorite, first of all, because it was a military base. So I'm proud as hell to be able to wrestle in front of guys that protect this country. But they came unglued for everything. I think I was wrestling Justin Overstreet at one of them one time, and I clotheslined him. I gave him a good clothesline too. I mean, the crowd just erupted over just a clothesline, and I was like, this is awesome. So everything that we did, so towards the end, and the end of the match, the way we did it, man, they came unglued. So if they were coming unglued just for a clothesline, just think of when I hit him with the Bubba Slam or hit him with the splash, and just they came unglued. I've broken a bunch of rings. I think I put that in another story too, but there was a few shows where rings fell apart while I was in it, and I had nothing to do with it. Seriously, fell apart. Ring ropes, when I go up to do my splash, I would bounce on the ropes, and then the rope would come off in my hand. I've covered that before. And fans and heat. Not fans in heat, fans and heat. My character has always been the mean monster. Over the years, I've gotten to be the mean monster that everybody loved to hate, if you can understand that statement. As soon as my music hit, you would see the kids run. As soon as I walked through the curtain, I would get cheered. Kids would cheer me from a distance. The fans love me, but as soon as I stepped through the ropes is when they started to hate me. So it was like a kind of mutual thing I had between me and the fans, especially the ones that, like Homer fans, Morgan City, the fans that I've wrestled in front of many a times and many a years. Over the years, I became that person that they love to hate. They loved me, but they hated me. Now, I would go to places out of town where nobody ever seen me before, and I'd come out as this monster, and towards the end of the show, I would have to get police escorts out the building, or I would have to come out with my mask on and be like, yeah, I don't know where that guy is. I think he went out the back door. He left. And I had one guy that wanted to absolutely kill me. He waited for me to come out, and I was like, I ain't no. Police had to escort me to my car one night. So I mean, yeah, the heat with the fans is it's good, it's cool. That's what makes the business, man. This is why you do it. Is to, if you're a bad guy, you piss the fans off. If you're a good guy, you make them happy. And somewhere down the line, it started that people would see me so much that I was somewhere in between. I would have half the crowd chanting my name. I would have half the crowd telling me I suck. So yeah, that's so to go through a few things that some ideas that some guys threw at me a little while ago. We're about 10 minutes, 30 seconds in. I thank you guys for checking in on me, and I thank y'all for coming back and watching my stories. If you don't mind, I want to hit that 2,600 mark again. It was pretty cool. Please share my YouTube page on your Facebook pages and your Instagram pages and your MySpaces and your just share me, man. I'm enjoying these stories. I can talk for days about wrestling, but I know at some point in time I need to shut up on Friday evenings because I don't want to give y'all 30, 40 minutes because people seem to lose interest like me. I got a very short attention span. So I like to keep these as short as possible with as much information as possible. So thank y'all again. Any of you boys on the road this weekend, be safe. Knock the roof off the place. Later.